Hey, beauty bosses. Today I want to talk with you about posting content. So, if you are trying to grow a business online, you have to post content. And I hear a lot of people say they don't post because they don't have time, but I can't get behind that. I think there is plenty of time, especially if you are scrolling for more than 5 minutes on any social media platform. Like, there's plenty of time. I think the issue is you just don't know what to post. And so in today's video, I'm going to go through some types of content that you can post. And then I'm going to give you some examples of content that I've posted to just get your creative juices flowing. And the hope is that this will build your confidence and you won't be able to say like, oh, I don't know what to post or I'm not posting because I don't have time. You'll know exactly what to do. So the first one is something that you've probably heard a million times, and that is to post valuable content. And that's something that I heard when I first started. And for like the first year or two of business, like I didn't know what that meant. I'm not joking. I was just like, they're saying post valuable content, but I'm just posting my content. And the more I understood my customer, the more I understood how I could be valuable to them. And so I talk about this a lot in my videos. It's very important that you understand your customer, the foundation of your business, because all of these things build upon one another. When you have a good understanding of who your customer is and what they need, what they're struggling with, this becomes rather easy. So think about providing valuable content as how can you be helpful to this person? What information can you give them to be helpful to serve them? And this does not just come in the form of education. It doesn't come in like just posting tips or, use this ingredient versus that ingredient. It can be, but it can also be an encouraging message. It can be a reminder to them. It can be some lightheartedness that's entertaining, that just brings them a little bit of joy in a busy day. All of these things can be helpful and all of these things can serve your customer. So wrap your mind around your business is meant to serve. You're not just putting products out there so people can buy you and benefit you. You are providing a product or maybe even a service that is a benefit to them and you want to help them. That is your job, is to help them. So that's kind of my piece on what a lot of people will say is, oh, post valuable content. So hopefully that helps you get a bit of a more understanding around that. The second thing that I wrote down is post the why instead of the what. So a lot of times we can get so caught up in just posting the product and nobody knows the why about anything. Nobody knows anything other than you sell this product. They have no idea who you are, why they should shop with you. Is just you're selling this product and they have no idea how the product can actually help them, not just in terms of the ingredients, but how else can it help their life? How else can it benefit them? So when you're posting the content, think more about why versus, okay, just selling this product. Go deeper. And again, it goes back to understanding the foundation of your business and who your customer is so that you can answer that. And it's going to become much easier to post your content. The third thing is post your mission. All right. If you have a business, you shouldn't just be like, okay, I sell natural skincare products. What is the mission of your company? Why do you really exist? It's not just for the product, but what are you trying to accomplish with your business? What's the mission? What is it? Do people know what it is? Do you know what it is? Can someone say, "Hey, what's the mission of your company?" and you're able to just rattle off what it is rather easily, or you're trying to figure out what the mission is, right? Again, it goes back to the foundation, but make sure you are posting that. Because when you're posting to social media, don't just post it one time. You have to get in a cycle of posting the content because new people are continuing to find your company and you want to be able to share with them what your mission is. So maybe once a month, that's a piece of content that you put out is this is what our mission is. I talked about this before when I talked about how to gain followers on social media, particularly Instagram. I've gave y'all my strategy of the particular post that I put out there and I run a traffic ad to that. And it's literally my mission. So if someone resonates with that mission, they're going to follow my page. They're going to continue to see my content. So think about that. And I didn't write this down, but aside from your mission, you could post content just introducing yourself, just briefly saying who you are, what you do, what your company is, and invite them to join your community. That could be a piece of content, right? Again, you got to be clear on that before you post that type of content, but that's a great piece of content to attract the right people to your business. So, posting who you are, introducing yourself, posting your mission, those are really great pieces of content to attract new people to your company. Another thing I wrote down is post behind the scenes. Okay, this is overlooked. All right. People love watching behind the scenes. I'll get into this more in my examples because I do a lot of this. But I record myself doing all different types of things, packing video or packing orders, making products, cleaning up the workspace, labeling products. You can do your skincare routines, whatever you're doing behind the scenes. You can post working on your computer. Just put your tripod up and record the content. You don't have to post it, but just get you a lineup of a bunch of content. That's the other thing. People don't post content because they don't have any content. You're not recording any content. So make sure you're constantly recording. Not that you have to use that content this week, but it's lined up so you always have something to post. So post behind the scenes. We'll talk more about examples of that here in a little bit. I put post with joy. I think this is another thing that's overlooked. Listen, it's a blessing that we get to post content for free. We don't have to pay nobody to record a video and put it on TikTok, to put it on YouTube, to put it on Instagram, to put it to Facebook. We can take one type of content and put it to all four platforms and don't have to pay a penny. Okay. So post with joy. Be excited that this is an opportunity for you to post because that's exactly what it is. It's an opportunity for you to freely get your business out there. And we don't want to take that for granted. So when you post, don't be grumbling like, I got to post some content. Be joyful. Yes, I get to post some content and yes, I get to help others. I get to serve others. Um, pray that that content reaches the right audience. So don't post with an attitude. Post with joy because it truly is a blessing that we get to post. This was not available decades ago. Okay. This is a rather new thing that we get to do. Post with honesty. This is another big one. Don't be misleading. I know a lot of people, they try to bait click you, and I can't stand when somebody does that. Or they mislead and they try to make it more than what it is, to try to hype it up. Listen, if your product don't do all those things, don't say it does all those things. If you don't know that it's actually doing those things, if you haven't tested that, hey, this product does help clear acne, hey, this product does help to reduce itchiness or help clear eczema. If you haven't tested it with, and I'm not saying just one person, but if you have not tested it and received the feedback or seen it with your own eyes, don't go out there telling people this product does a whole bunch of stuff that it doesn't. Be honest. Have integrity when you post. Don't just see that somebody did something and, oh, I'm going to post that about my product. If your product doesn't do it, don't post it. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. And then the other thing that I'll say about posting is post without getting discouraged. Okay. This is a tough one. It really is. It can be discouraging. It can be disappointing. It can feel like I thought this was going to do really well and it flopped. There's a lot of emotions behind it, but I would just encourage you to continue to post because the more you post, the better you're going to get at your content, the better you're going to get at analyzing the data to figure out what works, what resonates with your audience, and what doesn't. And so you can over time and you'll see, yeah, that type of content really doesn't work out that well for me. So I'm not going to worry about that anymore. I'm going to focus more on this type of content. But that doesn't happen if if you get discouraged for too long and you stop posting. Right. So we want to be consistent with the posting. If you are trying to grow your business, you should be posting once a day. Every time that you post is a new opportunity for someone new to see your company or for someone who's been watching you, because you will be surprised how many people watch your business that never comment, never like, never say anything, but they're watching. And so it's a new opportunity for them to see what you're doing and what you're really about. I know it is a big commitment, but if you are trying to grow your business online, it does require you to post at least Monday through Friday or 4 to 5 of the days of the week. So even if you're not posting Monday through Thursday, maybe you're posting Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Not that it has to be every single day, but I would aim to post 4 to 5 days out of your week. If you're trying to grow online and you don't have any other marketing strategies in place, that would be my recommendation. So next, I want to give y'all some examples from content that I've posted. And this isn't for y'all to just copy and paste it, but just to get some ideas of what you could post. So a lot of times what I do, I've talked about the behind the scenes. So I will post behind the scenes of me pouring product or doing something that's more like aesthetically pleasing. And I will post like a Bible verse over that. Or I will post an encouraging message over that. So, for example, um, I have a video where I'm literally just pouring oil into it's my body oil. I'm pouring oil into a bottle and I have the text overlay. It says what I say, and then it has the less than, and then it says what God says. Okay, very simple. Now, maybe you're thinking, Danielle, I believe in Jesus, I love Jesus, but I really don't incorporate him into my business. Well, I'll encourage you to ask why, but if that's not on your heart to do, what other positive message can you share that will be an encouragement, that will inspire someone or just leave someone in a better place than when they first came across your content? Okay. Another thing that I do is I will have a piece of content showing behind the scenes and I'll do a voiceover. I will share, let's see, like this one. I shared a voiceover in the text overlay. It says, I pray my journey will point others to Christ. And so maybe that's not your business, but you can have a text overlay of the general idea and then just do a voiceover behind it. So in that particular one, I was filling body butters. I did a voiceover. I just recorded myself filling the body butters one day. And then another day, I needed some content. So I grabbed that and I did a voiceover. And then I just put on the text overlay what what the main thing of the message is. So like here it is right here. Another one, I'm filling containers of products and I put POV, you get to spend every day doing what you love in lounge clothes because I work from home and I was in pajamas and I don't care. Another one is I will show myself making product and then I'll put like an encouraging message over that. So my brand is faith-based. I put a lot of inspirational messages out there. I talk about my testimony. I am very transparent in what's going on in my company. Like one time I ordered the wrong labels, or no, I'm sorry, I ordered the wrong droppers. And so I just recorded a video saying, hey, y'all, they were sold out. I accidentally ordered the wrong ones. This is what's going on. And I'm just very transparent. I think that customers appreciate that from a small business because they don't really get that from big businesses. And when you think about why people shop with small businesses, it's for that connection. And so you want to show up even if it doesn't look how you want it to look. I think that's okay. I don't think we have to show up perfect all the time because none of us are perfect. I think there's value and just showing up how you are. And I think there's also value in saying, this has been a really hard week, y'all. This is what's happened. Wanted to come on here and just share a little update about this week. You can do that as a face video. You can do that as a voiceover of you kind of just working behind the scenes. They don't have to know that that content's not necessarily from that week, but you're just talking about your week. I think there's a lot of value in that. Sometimes the content is just very basic. I'm literally just doing something and I have music in pretty much all of my videos. And then I just put what I'm doing, making some body oil samples, pouring some body butter, making a fresh batch of whatever. I think we can overcomplicate things and then you don't post the content instead of just getting in the habit of posting the content. Let's see what else. This one right here, I did a talking video, the introduction that I was telling y'all about earlier. I did that in the text overlay at the top of the video, my small business mission. That was the video. So don't overthink it. Get the content out there. This was wild to me. I posted this video. The worst part of selling soap is, so I was literally packing my soap. I put them in these plastic wraps and then I shrink wrap them with the heat gun. So I put the worst part of selling soap is, and I put me trying to get them in these plastic bags because they kept sticking. Literally, I got almost 61,000 views on this piece of content. Just a random piece of content that I put out. So it doesn't have to be the worst part of selling soap. It could be the worst part of whatever. And then in the caption, I put, there's got to be a better way to do this. And, you just put whatever it is in your business that you don't like to do, the worst part of running a small business is. And then in the caption, put what it is for you. I don't know what type of content is going to do well for you. That's why hopefully you're hearing me. You have to keep posting the content. And that's why I'm giving you several examples and ideas so that you can always have content to post. Also, when y'all go on social media, don't just be doom scrolling. Be looking for ideas because what I do is I'll see some content that's trending and I'll flip it to make it work for my business. So I might use that trending audio or I may use something that's a little similar, but I flip it for my business. So like there was a trending content about like something versus real life. So I did packing orders in my head versus real life. So packing orders in my head, I put it on like a fast speed. And then it versus real life, I slowed it down to like how long it's actually taking me to pack the order. So don't sleep on that either. If you're on social media, make it productive. Look at what other people are doing and take bits from that and make it your own. A lot of my content is just sharing the journey, again, inspirational messages, voiceovers, and different trending things that I've seen that I'm like, oh, let me see if I could, make it my own. So that's been a lot of my content over the past couple of months. Now that I am posting almost every day, I pretty much post about 5 times a week. And I feel like it's very doable for anybody. You just got to do it. You got to stop making the excuses. I think it's easy to say, "Oh, I don't have time," or "I don't know what to post." Let go of the excuses and just get it done. When you start, it's probably not going to be that great, but the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And the more you're going to be able to analyze your data, then you start catching on to what people actually want to see for your company. I hope that was helpful. We're in a new year. And so get started on the right foot, especially if you're trying to grow your company with social media. You can't grow a company on social media and not post. Or think that because you're posting a couple of times a week, if that's your only marketing strategy, it's going to be hard to grow. Unfortunately, that's just the day and age that we're in. So again, hope this was helpful. If you found value in this, please subscribe. Please share it with a friend. I love y'all and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.